And I believe Congress is going to get a bill that will help take some of the uncertainty out of the market, and that bill is going to put some meaningful reforms in place. And then the investor is going to pick value, make decisions on value. And from what I hear, corporate profits are improving, which means value will be available for those who invest in the market. Secondly, I fully understand some have diversified into bonds. And for those who have, their portfolios are better than those who've stayed only in equity. But I'm an optimist. I believe the future is going to be bright. But look, you're talking to the wrong guy about what stocks to buy.
Do you believe that the country will feel the effects of today's WorldCom bankruptcy? Does that?
Oh, I think the market probably has already adjusted for that. What I'm worried about in the WorldCom bankruptcy is employees that work for WorldCom. I worry that people will lose work. But the market has already anticipated, I suspect, has already anticipated the WorldCom decision. The key is for Congress to get a bill. I talked to the Speaker about it today. He's optimistic that we will get a good bill. And I meant what I said. I'd like to see the bill on my desk prior to the recess.
Mr. President, after last week, November 11th deadline for getting Homeland Security bill through. Is that some are saying is it realistic?
Well, I think they made great progress. I know they made great progress in the House, and the Senate's going to take it up for the next 2 weeks, and I believe there's a good chance we can get the.
But would you rather, if it came to it, would you rather wait and make sure it was done right, or does it have to be done?
What you're suggesting is not being done right now in the House, and I'm sure those members were. You
never know what's going to happen in that Senate.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm sure the Speaker appreciates that. But I do believe it's going to be done right. We're working closely with the members, and hopefully we can get it done by September the 11th. The key is to get it done.
Are you going to get Trade Promotion Authority this week?
Well, that's a good question. I talked to the Speaker about that. I'm anxious that they come together and get a bill up. It's important for our economy that we get a Trade Promotion Authority. I know the Speaker's committed to getting a bill to the floor once the conference finishes its work. I met with the leaders of both the House and the Senate, both parties, and urged them to reconcile any differences and get the bill to the floor of the House before they go on recess. And we'll just have to see. When I get back to Washington, I'm going to check in because our people are working that bill hard and working the corporate responsibility bill hard as well.
Mr. President, what do you say to the growing number of folks who are calling for Treasury Secretary O'Neill to step down?
I say he's doing a fine job. And when the market goes up, I hope they will give him credit. I mean, if they're going to hold him accountable for a market going down, they ought to give him credit when the market goes up. And but I have all the confidence in the world in Secretary Treasurer O'Neill. And I understand one newspaper was calling for his scalp, but that's Washington, D.C. That's what happens in that town.
Well, Mr. President, in that regard, after such a terrible week on the stock market last week, what's it going to take for investors to have the confidence to make that market go up again?
Value. They're going to realize that there's values in the market. In other words, if they buy a stock, they're buying value as opposed to buying, buying into a bubble. And one of the things we can do in Washington is get a corporate responsibility bill passed, and I'm confident we will, which will take some of the risk out of the market. And the risk is that people won't be held accountable for misdeeds. But people will be buying in the market based upon the value. And what's happening is corporate earnings are improving, so that the price-earnings ratios are improving. And I believe people are going to come back into the market. But listen, I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not a stock picker. My attitude of Wall Street is they'll buy you or sell you depending upon if it's in their interest. And when I used to watch the stocks, I was in Midland, Texas, somewhat skeptical about what was taking place on the floors of these exchanges. But I always knew that you needed to buy on value. Price relative to the earnings of the company needed to be in line with what they considered value. And I believe the values are improving. I know the economics. The platform for growth is in good shape. Inflation's low, monetary policy sound, fiscal policy is sound, productivity is up, orders for durable goods are up. We've got the platform for growth. When the values get there, you'll see the market go back up.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. What? No, we're going to win the governor's race.